show people, if you were interested in pendulum dowsing, exactly how to do it or how I do it, so that you can get a feel for it and understand it a bit more. If you're already a dowser and you want to get some different opinions on how things work, then this is a good place to do it. So we're going to start with the pendulum. Okay, so here's the pendulum I use. This is a quartz crystal, and it has an amethyst on top. Now, a lot of people ask, what type of pendulum do I need? My recommendation is anything that is a crystal. There's wood pendulums, there's metal pendulums like hematite and brass and copper. I find I get, not going to say better results, but I just feel more comfortable with a crystal pyramid. The quartz itself is an all-encompassing healing stone, so I like the quartz. And they're a little easier to clear. And for me, the biggest thing is the weight. To find the right weight of pendulum, because you're going to be using it and you want to be able to feel the motion of the pendulum. So for me, this specific size and crystal is about perfect weight. Okay. Now, another important thing with the pendulum is clearing the pendulum. So what a lot of people do is they'll put it in the moonlight overnight to clear it out, or put it in sea salt. Now, here is the ultimate, #1 best way to clear your pendulum. And that's by using a neutralization ring. Okay, these things are on my website. They're $50 a piece. I know what you're saying. Well, he's just trying to sell me a neutralization ring. But no, these things really do have a very strong energy field around them. They do their job. Basically, take your pendulum, put it in the ring, it's done. 5 seconds, it's done. If you can see energy, if you're a person who can see energy, and if in this room, if the lights were low, you'd see little sparks, little blue sparks coming off of it. That's just showing you that energy is coming off. So every time you work on somebody new, or if you feel that the pendulum isn't performing well enough, put it in a neutralization ring for a few seconds, and it's crystal clear. Okay, so now when you're using a pendulum, you're working with your higher self. So ultimately, when you start working with a pendulum, you want to make an intent that you work with the highest level of your higher self, no other. Okay, make sure you say no other, because that way there's no other consciousness, either ET or spiritual consciousness or any spirits that are around you can influence the pendulum. So you want to work directly with your higher self, the highest level of your higher self only. Okay, that's the intent you need to make. You just say that out loud. Every time I make an intent, I always say it out loud. That way, when you start working with the pendulum and you start swinging, because there's always new thoughts coming into your head all the time. That thought is not going to influence anything. So that also is a very key. Now, when I work with a pendulum, I'm using charts. I use a chart system. This is the chart system I have, very extensive. It's got everything in here from A to Z, and then everything else the universe has to offer. So let's start with the letter chart. Now, when you're using charts, generally most people, 99.999% of all people, are going to hold their hand very steady, and the pendulum is going to swing around. Okay? So for me, here's the way I do it. I'm not saying this is how you need to do it. I'm going to take the pendulum and I'm going to hold it probably that far away from the crystal itself. And I'm going to swing my hand. So the pendulum is not swinging, my hand is swinging. Why do I do this? There's a couple different reasons. #1 is when you're holding it like this, you cannot see this part of the chart. So when you're moving your hand, you now have visibility of that part of the chart. Because for me, when I'm looking at my chart, I need to see where it's going. I just don't close my eyes and let it go, because this is a part of you. This is you seeing it. This is your higher self working at it. So you need to be able to see it. And also #2, when I'm working with somebody, we have 1 hour of time to use. So I want to make sure that I'm making the best out of that time. So the faster it goes for me, the better for the client. Okay, so what I'm doing when I'm swinging the pendulum like this is I'm feeling where the pendulum is going. I'm following it. If it's swinging like that, that's my hand following the energy of the pendulum. Okay, so you can start yourself just like this and let it go over the charts. Keep your hand straight. A lot of people think, oh, he's moving his hand. He's manipulating it. But no, you know what you're doing, okay? When you can feel that the pendulum is swinging on a certain spot on the chart, you know within your heart, you can feel how accurate it is, you can tell that that's the right place for it. So we've established on how to clear your pendulum, what type of pendulum to use, how to hold it, how to use it. Now, the most important thing about pendulum work is the question. The question is more important than the answers. You ask the right question, you get the right answer. That's how the universe works. That's how the law of attraction works. That's how a lot of things work in our lives. If my wife calls me and says, "Chris, where are you?" I say, "I'm in my truck." Okay? She didn't ask, "Are you on your way home? Where is your truck?" I just say, "I'm in my truck." So she says, "Okay, guy, okay, whereabouts are you? Are you on your way home or are you close?" So then she asks a specific question. I give a specific answer. Same thing with the universe. If you ask a specific question with no gray areas, and number one also, you need to be able to understand that question yourself. If in your mind you know what that question is, then you're going to get a more precise answer. Okay? So, within my charts, as far as questions, I have a series of questions. 25 different questions that I can ask. So if you come in and you have a health problem, and most people are going to use this system for health problems, I'm going to ask my pendulum, my higher self, what question is optimal for the person that I'm working with. And it's going to swing around and it's going to find an answer. Now, for me, a default question is, where it's swinging right now, you see like that, swinging there, the question is, where is the most resistance in the person's body? Okay? That is the question I'm going to ask. And then we can go to different charts. Go to the master chart, and it's going to tell you what area of the body, whether it's in the aura, whether it's in the digestive system, or the chakras, whatever. And it's going to give you direction as you go. So you're going to find an area, let's say, in the aura within the consciousness. So we want to look in the consciousness. Then we're going to ask, what is causing resistance in the consciousness? And within the stressor charts, it's going to go to an answer. It's going to say possibly a warlock spell or a black hole or some type of entity. So you ask the right question, the pendulum is going to give you all of the results that you need in order to get the right answer. And now within this system, I have checks and balances where you can actually verify the answer. So you can do a few different things. You can ask the question a different way, reword the question. Just change the wording or the meaning of it a little bit. If you get the same answer that you did before, then you know you're on the right track. Now, what a lot of people do is when they're dowsing with the pendulum, especially when you're getting started, right away there's doubt. So you're getting an answer, like, well, is that the right answer? You have to trust it. Number one, you have to trust it. And that's why I did develop the system so that if you are in doubt, you can ask a different way. You can get the letter chart to spell things out for you to see if you're on the right track. So I hope that gives you a good insight on pendulum dowsing. If you have any questions, I'm always here to help people out. If you have a question, I'd love to help you. Chris Kehler out.